Hello. Today's another edition of Let's Talk About Your Money. If you are not comfortable talking about your money, then there's a problem. You need to always talk about your money. You need to be comfortable talking about your money. We are here again today, the three musketeers. My name is Iyore. If you are meeting me for the first time, I'm a working mom and I'm also a home business coach. I'm based in New York and I have my two very amazing financial educators with me here. Both are based in Canada. I have Mr. Israel Iyamu and Mr. Martins. The two of them are going to marshal out all the questions that you have sent throughout the week. And let me repeat again, as you're watching this video or if you're watching the replay, you have any burning question, those questions that are keeping you awake at night, you have them, you have those questions, just put them in the comment section. And next week, Sunday, by God's grace, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to answer your question. So, without wasting much of your time, we'll go straight to the first question. Are travel insurance worth it? Mr. Israel Iyamu will answer that question. Are travel insurance worth it?
Yeah, I we just the direct answer is yes, right? It's worth it. Any form of insurance is worth it. Travel insurance, in particular, is available to people that are moving from a different jurisdiction to a jurisdiction where they don't have, form of health coverage, right? So, and if something happens to them in that other location, uh, there's a tendency that it's either they spend so much or something if something happens along the line they will spend so much, and in the course of death it might also be very difficult, you know um, taking the body or repatriating the body back to their home country. So travel insurance, in a nutshell, is very important for anyone that is traveling outside the jurisdiction to a different country. I mean, there are so many things that is also included. Travel insurance covers even flight delay, and some other things that
Mm.
are, you know, that are part of it. Time will fail me to go into the details about travel insurance, but in a nutshell, it's very important, and everyone is encouraged. If you are traveling from one country to another, it's good that you take it. It's very important. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Israel. Next question for Mr. Martins is: are travel insurance and health insurance the same?
Well, in some ways they are. But let me say something about travel insurance. I always advise people don't ever travel without a travel insurance. Don't ever travel without a travel insurance. Now, health insurance is an insurance that has to do with health and dental, where you have to pay for prescription. In Canada here, we are very lucky that we have various provinces have good healthcare plans for us. But as even as they have the good healthcare plan for us, they don't cover everything. There are still some things that are not covered, some prescriptions level that they cannot cover. For example, once you are admitted in a hospital and and then while you are there, Manitoba healthcare covers everything. The same thing with Ontario healthcare and all of that. Even British Columbia healthcare covers everything while you are in the hospital. But once you leave there for prescription, you have to buy it by yourself. So that is where health insurance come in. That every prescription that you have to you are supposed to pay for, your insurance will pay for it. And the prescription money could really be very expensive. It could really cost a lot. It could take a lot out of your income. And then health insurance also comprises of health and dental, in terms of your teeth, in terms of your eye, in terms of extended healthcare like acupuncture, physiotherapy, massage, and all of that. That's what health and dental cover, especially with regards to Canada here. And the travel insurance is actually an emergency insurance. It's an insurance that you take for a case of exigencies. You might come to Canada for people who are leaving Nigeria or other countries, different countries of the world, coming over to Canada, you will need to buy a travel insurance. It is not compulsory except for visa, super visa. Super visa is compulsory. You must buy super visa travel insurance before you can even apply for super visa application. It's compulsory. But for all other ones, like you're doing a regular 3 months, 6 months travel to Canada to visit, travel insurance is not compulsory. But we from our education point of view, we consider that everyone traveling must travel with a travel insurance. We have had cases of people who come here without a travel insurance, very heady, and before they left here, they've been cured over $50,000 in debt because someone took ill who was ordinarily very heady before coming to Canada. And you know very well that most people coming outside Canada and coming into a region of cold, extreme cold,
Hmm.
adaptation coping mechanisms differ from individual to individual. So, in a nutshell, both of them are very important. Travel insurance is very, very important for people who come, who are visiting, or you are even leaving Canada. Like Israel said, moving one location to another location. You are even leaving Canada to another place. When I was traveling to Spain and Portugal, I bought travel insurance and I paid just $20, right? For the 7, 8 days I stayed, $20. And if I had fallen ill and they took me to the hospital, the insurance would have paid for everything, right? And then there are even for interruption and everything, like Israel, like you said. And so it costs very way not, it's nothing compared to the benefit you get from it. So that is what I can say about it.
Thank you. For those of you that have been following my stories, this is Mr. Martins that I've been talking about that won an all expense paid trip to Spain and Portugal. So he just mentioned it. So this is the Mr. Martins. And Mr. Israel, I know that there is a success story you were telling me about travel insurance. I would love my audience watching me right now to hear this success story firsthand from you.
Right. Just like I mentioned earlier, travel insurance is not compulsory in some cases, except for a super visa, then it's compulsory. So anytime I get a call from sometimes people I don't even know about travel insurance, and if it's not a super visa, I usually appreciate them and say, "Oh, for you to have called, that means you know that is important." So a case like that happened for me. That's one of the stories that uh, something that happened last year. Uh, the client bought travel insurance around March. I think it's one of those groups that sometimes I just post some random information there. So he called and I processed the transaction and everything was okay. And I forget about the client just for him to call around October and was just telling me that, oh, this is what happened. Uh, the mother came all the way from Nigeria and inside his house, he fell on the staircase. And to cut the long story short, they supposed to incurred a $75,000 bill. And he was just so happy that he had to take that insurance the other that day. And it was, but I said, well, you had the mind because a lot of people in your shoes will not want to They want to assume it to be an extra cost. It wasn't a super visa. You did it, and whatever that is coming for the benefit is because of his own awareness. I say now we have to pass this information to our community. There are a lot of people in our community are very religious people. We always say, God forbid, but nobody is talking about God forbid because anything can happen to anybody at any time. I always tell people that consider it as part of your expense transport costs. If you see it from that light, then you add it as the cost. And if you want to look at it, if you really mean to invite your parents or you are traveling somewhere, if the flight ticket doubles, there's a tendency that you always want to pay because you want to go to that place. So is that more important than you getting something that in case anything happens? So once again, that is the importance of travel insurance. It can be gainsaid. And just imagine if the ultimate happened. That in that case, it has to do with the emergency situation that the person was still alive. I belong to several group where you see people bringing about issues of GoFundMe. GoFundMe, committee of friends, is another way of begging. Nobody wants to be in that kind of situation. So we telling our community because when they come asking for GoFundMe, it still come back to the community. So it come back to you and I. And it's not leaving the community richer, but it's making the community poorer. Meanwhile, we have facilities there that are available. Just spend this little money, very little. Just like Martin said, we went to Spain and Portugal, just $20. And it depends on the age, depends on the duration, the cost will vary. If you look at what it will eventually protect if something happens, is far, far beneficial than the cost you want to save. So that's what I would say for now. I don't know if Mr. Martin has one or two experience to add because he has done he has that kind of experience so many of them.
Yeah, I have had a lot of claims that were processed and then and were successful, and it was particularly important because it saves the family money, saves them a lot of money. You know,
Stress.
when you are looking at the financial foundation, the bedrock of financial foundation is insurance. So if you have put aside $50,000, like Israel is saying, if that family had $50,000 and suddenly that happens and you don't have travel insurance, that is going to wreck your entire $50,000, leaving you in a hole, right? So that's why the emphasis is on to train people to understand that the bedrock of building any financial structure is insurance, and be it life, be it health, be it travel, critical illness, or anything. That's the bedrock of insurance. We've had a lot of people that brought their mother here, either died in the process or and they need money. Whatever be the case, money is needed, or they became critically sick. In fact, there was a particular one that was told, and one of our associates pleaded with the friend to purchase a travel insurance for the mom. So my mom is so healthy, no problem at all. Oh, they gave the lady a quote, and they, oh no, how can I be paying $2,000 or so for insurance for my mother that is very healthy? You just buy Tylenol there if there's any problem. And lo and behold, a very healthy mother fell sick one day and was taken to the hospital. And before they left the hospital, Do you know that for anybody, like in the province where I live, anybody that is not a resident of my province and is rushed to emergency, before he's admitted into emergency, he has to pay at least $1,000 for admission fee. They've not Doctors have not attended to you. So these are what travel insurance will take care of. And do you know that we enjoy medical facility here like nowhere. Like I mean, if you want to talk of it from our country's perspective, we're enjoying medical facilities as if we are president of our countries. But we don't know that people who are not resident here, they pay through their nose. Even the little equipment that the doctor holds on the EL and all those ones, they are paying for those equipments. So it's really very important that people are like in my community, like Israel is saying, I always post it to them. Don't ever travel without a travel insurance, or don't ever bring your mother or your parents without buying a travel insurance for them. I mean, how much does it cost for 1 year? 1,500. Imagine something happened, they pay up to $100,000. So anybody, it's only a fool that know that there is a likelihood of something happening and never take action on remedying it. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those success stories. So now the next question. I think we still have time. Can I buy a
15
travel
minutes already.
insurance? Yeah. Can I buy a travel insurance after booking my flight? Mr. Israel Yamu. No,
Yeah.
I think, or Mr. Martins. I think it's Mr. Martins. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you can buy travel insurance after booking your flight. So basically, let me explain that for travel insurance, if you are coming into Canada, it's advisable that you buy the travel insurance before you leave. Because travel insurance coverage starts from the moment you enter the plane from the destination where you are traveling from. I mean, anything can happen. We pray that with the air is all safe and everything. Anything can happen on the way. So right from, if you are leaving from my country, Nigeria, right from the time you are jetting away from Lagos International Airport to Abuja, that is when the travel insurance starts. If you arrive Canada already and you did not purchase a travel insurance, you can still purchase, but you are going to have a waiting period. Like for if you came within 30 days, you're going to have a waiting period of 48 hours before any expenses can be paid by the insurance company. So, which means I arrive in Canada today and I just bought insurance today. Anything happen tomorrow, insurance is not liable. Anything happen next today, insurance is not liable. But if you have actually spent more than 30 days in Canada already, you can still purchase a travel insurance. But if anything happen, insurance can only be liable after 8 days. So that's what we say. We have a waiting period for 8 days. So in the real sense of thing, once your parents got a visa, just request to purchase a travel insurance. And some people flight, actually some airlines, when you buy your ticket, they also have a provision for travel insurance. But be sure that you are very conversant with the insurance that you have been purchasing, especially for insurance like in our country, Nigeria. If you buy from the airlines, you are definitely going to be dealing with insurance company in Nigeria, and then you have to understand the whole dynamics of all of that. So it's advisable that as soon as you get your visa or your parents get their visa, purchase your insurance. And those people who are also traveling to back to our country or back to other countries from Canada or from US, you need to buy insurance before you leave. That will be very advisable. And one thing I wanted to add also is that some people who have some plan in their health and dental, there are some provisions to include travel expenses, like medical expenses included there for a number of 9 days. Some are 15 days. So if I am traveling to the US and I'm spending within 50 days, my health and dental in my country can cover up to 15 days of my stay in the US and in the same other countries, right?
This is the time for summer. A lot of people are traveling, so this
Yeah.
still need to get out there for people to not to forget, like that friend I was talking about, or that client. I mean, he was almost forgetting that it was getting close to when the mother would travel, and he did it, and he saved them a lot. So
Yeah.
people should remember that it is very important. It's almost mandatory, if not possible, compulsory.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That is even see, that's another question, but you already answered it. Is travel insurance mandatory? So yeah,
Yeah, it's mandatory for the fact that anything can happen, but it's not compulsory, except if you are doing super visa. We mentioned it before. For super visa, it's compulsory. You can't even process your visa further if you don't have a travel insurance in place. But for every other normal travel, visiting coverage and all that, it depends on you. But we are telling you that's a mandatory thing for you to do it. So in that vein, it is mandatory. So if you don't do it, you we hope that everything goes. I mean, for the examples we are giving, those things, those incidents that has happened to those people, they didn't plan for it. So it's just better to be
Insurance,
on the safe side.
okay. Insurance is actually what you purchase that you wouldn't like to use,
Yeah.
right? It's always what you purchase, a service you purchase and you don't like to use it. And sometimes it has to be used,
Mm.
right? So just purchase it and be ready to use it if that situation
Arise.
arises.
Arises. Mm.
Yeah, so it's just very advisable because I will always stress this point for people who are coming from Africa down to North America. You have to be ready that somebody that have lived all his or her life in warm
Environment.
temperature coming into a cold like where I
Cold.
live, minus 54 and
Mm.
minus
As
this
if
one,
it's
and
going
you're
to
bringing
freezer
a
to enter
parent
inside freezer.
and then there's no medical facility here. It's you are really treading on a keg of a gunpowder.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I love you guys. You guys are a have a whole lot of knowledge to share with my audience. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I know that my audience watching right now, my viewer or my listener watching right now, they have learned a lot. So you're there right now, and you believe that yes, you need to learn how to understand how money works. You need to know how to protect your wealth, how to invest your money, how to save your money, how to make more money. There is a free educational platform where you can do that. So just put your comments in the section and say, yay, I'm ready to become financially literate. Just drop it in the comment section, and I can assure you we will all direct you to the free educational platform where you can do that. Thank you so much, my highly esteemed guests. And my listener out there, my viewer out there, please make it a point of duty to join us again next week, Sunday, for another educating, enlightening, and informative edition of Let's Talk About Your Money. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again next week, Sunday, 10 p.m.
Thanks
Eastern
for
Standard.
Thanks
thanks
for
for the
having us.
invitation.
Bye.
Bye.